Well, thank you for agreeing to do this interview.
You're welcome.
So, what is your name?
My name is Evelyn Lucero.
And where are you from, Evelyn?
I'm from Ensenada, Mexico.
Oh, great. How long have you been here?
I've been here for about 3 years and 2 months exactly.
Oh, wow. You know exactly.
Yes.
So, what classes are you taking right now?
I'm taking C++ programming. I'm taking assembly language, and I'm taking calculus 3.
Oh, what is your major?
Computer science.
Okay. I have some questions, and we'd like to hear your answer. So, have you ever had any uncomfortable moments in class due to cultural misunderstandings?
Well, not anymore because I've been here around about 3 years. But when I started, I did. Pretty much my first semester, I couldn't really understand how they were teaching because, first of all, because of the English, I didn't know that much, and the way that they were explaining things, it was more with more steps and more like a specific stuff, and I was used to something more general in Mexico, so it was kind of confusing. And then after, I used to see, for example, in my math class, it was the first one that it was really shocked to me. So when I used to see what they were actually doing, I was like, oh, I know what they are doing already. I know. But at the beginning, it was really hard to understand the process of how they teach is different from the one that I was used to.
So do you think it was because that you grew up in Mexico and the system was different?
The system is really, really different, and then because of the language too. That was another problem.
I see. What are some classroom behaviors that surprise you or bother you? So of the teachers or students?
That surprised me is that usually students just come to class, pay attention to the class, and then they leave. Usually it's not more of communication. I was used to having classes in Mexico where when we have to work as a team, and actually my high school had like just teams instead of the whole rows. We had just team tables, so it was really different to see that you have to work more kind of individual if you don't know people from the class, because if they are friends they help each other, but if I don't have friends it's really hard to try to talk to others and get into
I see. How about, what are some things about your teachers or classmates that you don't understand?
That I don't understand. Well, pretty much I understand everything they do. I think that kind of, yeah, I do understand. It's not really something that I don't. Probably the only thing is the way they communicate. We sometimes, well, in Mexico I was used to that we always had to be really respectful to professors and not make jokes and not talking, and we were like really like we knew that we had to do that. And in here I see it's more kind of like, oh well, the professors are like, oh well, just tell me and call me for my name, and I'm not used to that. And we usually it's like, oh professor this, and they sometimes they don't like it, sometimes they do. But it's the different kind of like I think here is more kind of open, and in Mexico was more strict.
I see. So are you used to it now?
Yes, I'm used to it.
Okay. How important is it to you that your teachers and classmates openly show understanding of and respect to your culture?
Well, it's really important because it's really hard to try to get used to a new culture that it's completely different from what you had. And I'm not asking for others to know what my culture is or to behave as I do, but at least to respect that I'm kind of have a different behavior and I'm a different culture, so it's not going to be the same thoughts sometimes or the same behavior that they have. So it's really, really important, and most of the professors understand that, but some others, they just take you as, oh well, I don't care where you're from, like you're still a student, and for me you're just one more student.
I see. Is there any, do you think you have any behaviors or customs or traditions that are very different than your classmates?
Yes, I think that again, I feel like I'm more used to be more respectful, and usually I kind of like talk to my professors so they know who I am. But when I came here, it was really hard because um, some of them they don't understand that you're an international student, and it's really kind of like, well, I don't care that you're an international student. Even if I go, oh, well, it's because I don't understand what you're saying because of this is not my first language. They still take you as well. Here you have to learn, and you come just like that, and they don't really care. So I see like sometimes the way I ask questions too is different from the questions that other students have. So kind of like that restrict me to ask questions.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How can Palomar teachers show cultural awareness in the way they conduct class?
I think by showing more, if I would feel it like if they show more interest in all the students and what they are, that they know that we are all different, that we're not coming from the same background or the same culture. I'm not saying to make a difference, but at least to know that probably there's some other students that have another idea of things or another thoughts. I think to at least show that we can trust them to go and actually tell them, oh, I'm an international student, because sometimes you don't even want to tell them because you don't feel like comfortable to do that because of the way that they teach the class, the way that they behave, that they're just like, no, you just come to my class and then we leave and that's it.
Have you had classmates or teachers come up to you and ask you more about, Mexico or the way things people do in your culture?
I think my first semester probably just only in my ESL classes. My professors were more kind of like interested in where I was from and what I used to do over there. But not the other professors, no, they don't really care that much.
Well, thank you very much, Evelyn.
You're welcome.